ChatGPT uninstalls spiked by over 200% in a single day. OpenAI just raised $122 billion because they needed to. And Claude hit #1 in the App Store, passing ChatGPT for the first time ever in history. Now, every creator on the internet is telling you to make the switch. Uninstall ChatGPT, move to Claude, don't look back. And believe it or not, I'm not going to tell you any of that mess. I've been featured in Forbes. I have over 10,000 hours invested in AI over the last 5 years. I use AI every single day, not just on my own business, but to help other business owners scale and actually make serious money with AI. So when I tell you my take is different from what's trending now, I need you to lock in. Something about me is I don't like to waste people's time. So here's what we're going to cover in this video exactly. #1, why I refuse to pick a side and what I'm doing instead that most people won't tell you. #2, what ChatGPT actually did for all of us that nobody wants to acknowledge right now. #3, the Pentagon deal that happened last month and what it means for your business data and the tools you're trusting with your information. And I saved the best for last. #4, the Claude ecosystem, and this is the big one. I'm going to walk you through the 4 tools inside Claude that are running my entire business right now. Chat, Chrome, Cowork, and Code. Most people don't even know half of these exist, and once you see what they can do, you're going to be able to understand why I moved my operations there. #5, where ChatGPT still wins, because I'm gonna keep it real. There are things ChatGPT does right now that Claude cannot touch, and you need to know the differences before you make any decisions. And #6, the one question you need to be asking yourself right now that nobody is talking about. If you stick around to the end, you're going to walk away knowing exactly which tool to bet on and why the answer is not as simple as everybody's making it. Hold on. Before we get into anything, in the last couple of days, I'm talking days, I've had close to 400,000 views on this channel. You know what that means? That means roughly 65% of you guys are watching, saving, and sharing my content, but you haven't yet subscribed. That number matters to me. I need this content to reach people like you who actually need this information. The only way that happens is if you subscribe. So hit that bell notification and share this out. Put this in your group, your WhatsApp chat, your family chat, your friend chat. Send this to someone who needs to hear and lock in and learn AI. With that being said, let's freaking go. Let me make this loud and clear. I am not pro Claude. I am not pro ChatGPT. I'm pro winning. And that's what I need you to hear from my corner office right now. While everybody else is out here being emotional and riding the wave, I don't move in hype. I move in strategy, okay? A lot of creators right now are making this type of content because they know ChatGPT versus Claude is going to get lots of clicks. It's clickbait content. That's not what I'm here for. When you listen to me, you're getting a voice of reason. You're not getting somebody who saw a trending topic and decided to jump on it because they know it's going to go viral. I'm here because you deserve someone who's going to give you the facts, give you the strategy, and let you make the decision that's right for your business and life. Not someone selling you on a tool because it's trending this week. That's a very different thing. And I need you guys to start to connect the dots. Now, before I even get into Claude, I need to say something about ChatGPT that nobody wants to say right now. ChatGPT was the GOAT, period. They are the reason any of us have an interface for AI right now. Because before ChatGPT, AI was locked behind research labs and codes that regular people could not touch. You needed to be a developer. You needed to be in the inner circle. You needed to be a corporation. You needed to understand APIs and machine learning models. That was not accessible for everyday business owners. OpenAI changed that. They opened the door. They sacrificed, they pushed forward. They gave the public a way to actually use AI. And that changed everything for every single one of us sitting here today. So I will never sit here and disrespect that company or that tool. I don't care what's trending. I don't care what the narrative is this week. Respect is respect. But I'm also not going to ignore what's happening right now because facts are facts too. Here are the facts. In February 2026, OpenAI signed a deal with the Pentagon to deploy their AI in classified military systems. This happened right after Anthropic, the company that built Claude, refused to remove their safety restrictions. Anthropic drew a line in the sand and said they would not allow their technology to be used for mass surveillance of Americans or to power autonomous weapons. They said, hell no. The Pentagon blacklisted them, designated them a supply chain risk, and OpenAI stepped in to fill the gap. Let me repeat that for somebody in the back. One company said, we won't cross that line. The other company signed the contract right after. OpenAI's own staff, they were not happy about this. A senior robotics leader resigned on principle. Employees were publicly questioned and questioning the decision. ChatGPT uninstalls spiked 200% in a single day after the news broke. And here's something else you need to know. Claude is built on something called constitutional AI. That's a set of rules the AI uses to govern itself on safety and privacy. That's not just marketing, that's baked into how the model works, and Anthropic has positioned itself as privacy first from day one. That matters when you're putting your business data, your client information, your strategy into a tool. You need to know that the company behind it has standards. At the end of the day, you need to know who you're doing business with. Now we're about to get into the real comparison, and this is where it gets really, really good. But before we do it, if you're watching this and you're thinking, okay, I need to figure out how to actually use AI to make serious money, not just use it for fun, I want you to DM me the word cash flow on my Instagram. Look at the link in the bio. Let's get into it. I'll show you how business owners right now are using AI to build real cash flow. We're not talking about productivity hacks over here. I'm talking about actual revenue. So DM me cash flow. Let's keep going. As of today, I personally believe Claude is a better tool right now as of today, hands down. And it's not just the AI model, it's the ecosystem that they've built around it. That is what most people are missing. They think Claude is just another chatbot, but be for real, it's 4 tools working together, and once you see how they connect, you'll understand why I moved my entire operation there. Let me walk you through each one. Claude Chat. This is where I do all my thinking, my strategy, my content planning, and the writing quality is on a completely different level. Here's how I'm going to describe it. ChatGPT writes like an efficient assistant. It writes like you're writing for LinkedIn. It gives you an answer. It's correct. It's fine. Let's talk about Claude. Claude writes like a sharp person on your team who actually sat down and thought about it before responding. The tone is natural. The transition flows. Listen, the structure makes sense. It doesn't sound like an AI wrote it. And right now, if you're on the internet, you know people can spot AI writing from a mile away. Claude's output doesn't have that problem. I've set my entire content workflow inside Claude Chat. My scripts, my newsletters, my strategy docs, it all lives there. And the output is something I actually use without spending an hour rewriting it. But here's what really separates them. Okay, guys? Claude has something called extended thinking. The model actually pauses and plans before it gives you an answer. It thinks through the problem step by step. And this is available on the standard $20 a month plan. ChatGPT has a similar feature, but they lock their best reasoning behind a $200 a month professional tier. So you're getting top tier thinking at a fraction of the price. For a business owner watching every dollar, that matters. Oh my gosh, one more thing on Chat. Claude handles massive documents. We're talking 200,000 plus tokens. You can drop an entire contract, an entire business plan, an entire book into it, and it catches details that most tools miss. ChatGPT recently started turning these long pastes into attachments, and users are reporting that it loses details in the middle of the document. It's so true. I can attest to that. When you're working with real business documents, you cannot afford that. Accuracy is everything. All right, let's get into Claude in Chrome. This is a browser extension, and this is where it starts to get crazy, guys. Lock in with me. You install it, connect your Claude account, and now Claude sits in a little panel on the right side of your browser. It sees what you see. It knows what page you're on, and you can ask it anything. If you're in your email, you can tell it to process that. If you give it a summary, listen, it can read it. You're on your competitor's website, tell it to pull their pricing, their features, their positioning, and organize it into a comparison table. You're in Google Sheets, look at this. Tell it to build the formulas. This could actually take over an entire afternoon and get things done for you in minutes. And you don't have to leave your browser. You didn't have to copy and paste and run around or do anything. You didn't have to switch between apps trying to keep track of information. And the part that blew my mind, you can record your workflow, whatever process you do every day. Claude watches what you do, documents the steps, and then it can repeat that process by itself. You can turn it into a repetitive task, and guess what? Into an automated system. That's not a feature. That's an employee that works 24/7, and guess what? Never calls in sick. Let's look at Claude Cowork. Chrome handles what's in the browser. Cowork handles everything on your actual computer, your files, your apps, your desktop. This is an agent that works on your machine. It can open apps, organize files, pull information from multiple sources, and run tasks that would normally take all day. But here's a real example I want to show you. Let's say every Monday you have to send a weekly update to your team. You pull information from your project's docs, right? You summarize the key updates, you format it and send it to Slack. That's about 15 to 20 minutes every single week. With Cowork, you tell it once, it reads the files, writes the summary, and sends it automatically. It runs automatically every Monday, so you never touch it again. All you gotta do is stack 5 to 6 of those tasks together, and you just got 2 to 3 hours back every single day. That's not a productivity hack. That's an infrastructure hack. That's you building a system so your business doesn't depend on you doing everything yourself. Up next, let's lock in Claude Code. And this is the one that changed everything for me. And I need you to hear me on this because this is for everybody, not just the technical people. Right now in the developer community, Claude is being called the king of code. And that's not me saying it. That's developers who are reporting roughly 95% functional accuracy when Claude Code refactors an entire repository, okay? I'm not talking just about snippets, entire code bases. ChatGPT is fast for quick code questions, but when you need something built from scratch, something complex with multiple files working together, Claude Code is on a different level. But here's the thing, you don't need to be a developer to use it. You don't even need to know a single line of code. You describe what you want in plain English and Claude builds it. Landing pages, automations, custom tools built exactly for your business. You just need to talk to it like you're talking to a developer, except this developer doesn't charge you $10,000 and doesn't need 3 rounds of revisions. You need a landing page for your coaching offer? Tell Claude Code, build me a landing page. The offer could be about 12 weeks. It's for business owners. The price is $5,000, include a headline, 3 benefits, a testimony section, and a sign up button, and watch it go to work. It builds the whole thing. Don't like the design? Tell it, make it look like this, make it look like that. You can take screenshots and actually send it to it and it will redesign it for you. Need the sign up button to connect to your email marketing tool? All you gotta do is tell it. It writes the integration. That could cost you about $5,000 to $15,000 hiring a developer, and it would take you weeks. Claude Code does it while you're sitting there watching. Watch this. Chat for thinking, Chrome for browsing, Cowork for your desktop, Code for building. They all live in the same ecosystem and they all talk to each other. That's not a tool, that's an operating system for your business. Now here's where I go against the grain for every creator making this type of content right now, because I'm not going to sit here and pretend like Claude does everything better. That would be dishonest, and I don't do dishonesty, my friends. There are things that ChatGPT does right now that Claude cannot touch. Number 1 is multimodal. ChatGPT has DALL-E built in for image generation. You can generate visuals right inside the chat. Claude does not do that yet. If you're a visual creator, if you need images and video as a part of your workflow, that's a real gap. That is a deal breaker for some people, and I'm not going to pretend that it isn't. Number 2, advanced voice mode. ChatGPT has a true conversational voice mode with an emotional range. Real-time interruption, breath sounds, it feels like you're actually talking to someone. Claude added text-to-speech, but it's not the same thing. If you use AI for hands-free brainstorming, for language learning, for talking things through out loud, ChatGPT is still ahead of that. Number 3, web search. ChatGPT's integration with Bing is deeper and faster for breaking news and real-time information. Claude added search in early 2026, but is better for research than it was for what happened 5 minutes ago. If you need real-time data, ChatGPT has the edge there. And let's not forget the numbers. 122 billion just got pushed into OpenAI. 852 billion valuation. Amazon put in 50 billion, Nvidia put in 30 billion, SoftBank put in 30 billion. They're generating 2 billion a month in revenue, 900 million weekly active users. This doesn't sound like a dying company. This is a company with the resources to close every single gap I just talked about, and they will. Competition does that. When Claude gets better, ChatGPT has to get better. When ChatGPT gets better, Claude has to get better. We win, guys, either way. So the people out here telling you to uninstall, delete, switch forever, never look back, they're moving emotional and bringing you along with them. I move in strategy. I've been in this game for too long to understand how these tools work. So here's the one question I need you to sit with. Not which AI is better, not which one is trending right now. The question is, which tool will allow you to win? Which tool is going to help you make more money, save more time, and build a business that doesn't depend on you being in everything yourself? That's the only question that matters. Everything else is just noise. And right now, today, my answer is Claude. The ecosystem is stronger, the writing is better, the coding is better, the reasoning is better at a price that doesn't punish you for not being on the $200 a month plan. And the company behind it made a decision about the Pentagon that I respect. And I am not married to any tool. I'm married to results. I'm married to winning. And the second something better comes along, I will tell you, with or without you, this space is moving. I'd rather you move with me. That's what a voice of reason does. I figured this out so you don't have to. That's why you're here. If you got value from this, remember to subscribe, my friends. Share this, save this, because I'm going to keep showing up with the truth, not the trend. And if you're ready to figure out how to actually make money with AI, not just use it, not just play with it, but build real cash flow around it, DM me the word cash flow on Instagram. I'll show you exactly how business owners right now are using AI to build revenue, real cash, the kind that changes your life, the kind that changes your bloodline. So let's lock in, guys. I love it. I am here for you guys. I check every single comment. Listen, thank you guys so much for rocking with me and for showing me so much love. I got 20,000 followers within 2 to 3 weeks. Listen, let's keep locking in. Let's ride this till the wheels go off. I'll see you guys next time, my friends.